Life in this society being at best is an utter bore, and no aspect of society being at all relevant to women. There remains a civic-minded, responsible, thrill-seeking females only to overthrow the government, eliminate the money system, institute complete automation and destroy the male.
Being an incomplete female, the male spends his life attempting to complete himself, to become female. He attempts to do this by constantly seeking out, fraternising with and trying to live through a fuse with the female, and by claiming as his own all female characteristics. Emotional strength and independence, forcefulness, dynamism, decisiveness, coolness, objectivity, assertiveness, courage, integrity, vitality, intensity, depth of character, grooviness, and projecting onto women all male traits, vanity, frivolity, triviality, weakness. It should be said, though, that the male has one glaring area of superiority over the female: public relations. He has done a brilliant job of convincing millions of women that men are women and women are men. The male claim that females find fulfilment through motherhood, and sexuality reflects what males think they'd find fulfilling if they were female.
Although completely physical, the male is unfit even for stud service. Assuming mechanical proficiency, which few men have, he is first of all incapable of zestfully, lustfully tearing off a piece, but instead is eaten up with guilt, shame, fear and insecurity, feelings rooted in the male nature, which the most enlightened training can only minimise. Second, the physical feeling he attains is next to nothing. And third, he is not empathising with his partner, but is obsessed with how he is doing, turning it into a performance, doing a good plumbing job. To call a man an animal is to flatter him. He's a machine, a walking dildo. It's often said that men use women. Use them for what? Surely not pleasure.
It is now technically feasible to reproduce without the aid of males, or for that matter, females, and to produce only females. We must begin immediately to do so.
Eaten up with guilt, shame, fears and insecurities, and obtaining, if he's lucky, a barely perceptible physical feeling, the male is nonetheless obsessed with screwing. He'll swim through a river of snot, wade nostril deep through a mile of vomit, if he thinks there'll be a friendly pussy awaiting him. He'll screw a woman he despises, any snaggle-toothed hag, and furthermore pay for the opportunity. Why? Relieving physical tension isn't the answer, as masturbation suffices for that.
Retaining the male has not even the dubious purpose of reproduction. The male is a biological accident. The Y gene is an incomplete X gene. That is, it has an incomplete set of chromosomes.
The male is completely egocentric, trapped inside himself, incapable of empathising or identifying with others or love, friendship, affection or tenderness. He is a completely isolated unit, incapable of rapport with anyone. His responses are entirely visceral, not cerebral. His intelligence is a mere tool in the services of his drives and needs. He is incapable of mental passion, mental interaction. He can't relate to anything other than his own physical sensations. He is a half-dead, unresponsive lump, incapable of giving or receiving pleasure or happiness. Consequently, he is at best an utter bore, an inoffensive blob. Since only those capable of absorption in others can be charming, he is trapped in a twilight zone, halfway between humans and apes, and is far worse off than apes, because, unlike apes, he is capable of a large array of feelings, negative feelings, hate, jealousy, contempt, disgust, guilt and shame, and doubt. Moreover, He is aware of what he is and what he isn't.
In other words, the male is an incomplete female, a walking abortion, aborted at the gene stage.
Women, in other words, don't have penis envy, men have pussy envy. When the male accepts his passivity, defines himself as a woman, males as well as females think men are women and women are men, and become a transvestite who loses his desire to screw or to do anything else. For the matter, he fulfills himself as a drag queen and gets his dick chopped off. He then achieves a continuous diffuse sexual feeling from being a woman. Screwing is, for a man, a defence against his desire to be female.
Ego satisfaction. That doesn't explain screwing corpses and babies.